So anyway, here's the new job offering, because when you're unemployed, you need a job. You can join the National Guard, and if you go to mil.gov or you go to monster.com, big job thing, you can find out that we have a job title that we're hiring for. And it's called Corrections Officer, Internment Resettlement Specialist. I know, you think I'm probably kidding. Think of those words. Corrections Officer, that's a prison thing. Okay? Then we think internment. What's internment? Isn't that, what does an undertaker do? That's a thought, huh? How about resettlement specialist? Why does our National Guard need resettlement specialists, let alone internment and resettlement specialists? Why did they fund and build those FEMA camps? Why did Kellogg Brown and Root get $365 million to build those FEMA facilities? Why is Kellogg Brown and Root a subsidiary of Halliburton? Why is Dick Cheney the big guy from Halliburton? Gee. And now they're going to make money on this phony pandemic flu thing? Maybe they need those camps, huh? Maybe you're going to be invited to the camps. Maybe they won't invite you, they'll just invite your children. Maybe you need to get stuff put in past your normal immune system, okay, with the form of a needle, because that's what you need, right? Boy, so now we have employment. Here it is once again. I'll give you the picture. Here's employment. Look at the people on one side. On one side, they're regular people. They're like your daughter, your son, maybe your nephew, your niece. And then on the other side, we put a uniform on them, kind of like city year and stuff. But I think it's interesting because the title of the opportunity, think about it. Internment and resettlement specialist. In what? In a corrective function, a corrections officer. This is what your money's being spent on. And would that assist these globalist banksters? Do you think that helps them, or did that help you? Yeah. Have you ever played chess? Have you ever prepositioned the pieces? Why do you put the queen where you put the queen, and the knight and the rook and all that? And are these people stupid? Are they dumb? It's interesting because we just we're pushing the new healthcare thing, right? Obama can solve all the world's problems. A fascist like I've never seen, okay? No different than Bush. They both worked for Goldman Sachs. Look at who funded their campaigns. Wow, why would I do that? Why would I care where the money came from? What happens if I follow the money? Do I find the truth? Would you find the truth if you found where the money came from? So anyway, the new healthcare plan. How about this one? If you read the new healthcare bill that they're proposing, okay, one of the stipulations was they can automatically take money from your bank account. That sounds like a healthy thing to me. Let's see, who likes doing that? Last I know, the government and banks. Oh, that's right. The people from the banks are running the government. Oh, gee, so when you work for Goldman Sachs, you can get a job at the Treasury. When you work from Goldman Sachs, you can become Secretary of the Treasury. When you work from Goldman Sachs, this is a lot like Monsanto and the FDA, isn't it? Or isn't it like Merck and the FDA? You can poison people and know you do it and then get a job at the FDA. Or you can work at Monsanto, okay, and poison the crops and the food with genetically modified organisms, where you're mixing things like, let's say, insect genes with plant genes. That sounds good, doesn't it? And you can get a job where? At the Food and Drug Administration. Hey, and you can take what? Fluorine and make a product called Prozac, and then you can make people have to take it. Isn't that good? Because you work for who? You work for Lilly, and then you work for the FDA. Oh, wait a minute. No. You work for GlaxoSmithKline, then you work for the FDA. I think they call it a revolving door, right? You go into the bank, then you get the job in the government, then back to the bank. And every time the jobs get better. It's kind of like Tony Blair, right? He was in charge of what? England for a little while. When I say in charge, Prime Minister. And what's his job now? He's working for the bank. Goldman Sachs. Tony Blair, Goldman Sachs. You think I'm kidding, huh? Yeah, so they did that war based on lies, and even though the English people got up and they said, we don't want to be part of this war. We don't think this war is correct, This whole weapons of mass destruction lie thing. And who benefited? Cui bono. Who benefited from the war? Did you American citizen, did you benefit from the war? When your sons and daughters came back blown up and, shot, how about Pat Tillman? Did he benefit from the war? Gave up the football career, wrote letters home to his mom. Mom, we're guarding poppy fields in Afghanistan. I think I'm going to protest against the war when I get home, Mom. All of a sudden, Pat Tillman, pop, pop, pop. 3 rounds, 2-inch group, 223 shells, all American rounds, no enemy nearby. Gee, they what? Had to do the investigation 3, 4 times because they said, oh, why'd they make him nude and burn his clothes? Why did Pat Tillman's parents have to say this isn't right? Why did they change the story 3, 4 times? Pat Tillman. For you sports nuts out there, I guess you forgot who Pat Tillman was. I guess you forgot how they used him. He's like the old shoe in that movie Wag the Dog. Oh, don't forget the old shoe. And every now and then they got to bring that war up to you, And now they tell me in our news, in our manipulated media, that the reason we're going to Iraq is to spread democracy. It's like peanut butter or honey. You got to spread it. And we kill 1 million Iraqis. You pay to kill 1 million Iraqis. You're spreading that democracy pretty thick now, aren't you? Is that what America's about? Taking away your rights from your grandchildren, okay? Putting your grandchildren in servitude to a bunch of banksters, okay? Having them put crud in your water, like here in the town of Sharon, where, by the way, when did you authorize them to mass medicate? Where else have we seen mass medication in the world? And has it been beneficial? How come the tooth decay rates aren't different between here and Europe? How about between Sharon and towns that don't, Florida? Don't even get me going on that. That's a whole other story. But anyway, we'll go back to the healthcare thing because, I kind of got to go on with the eugenics thing. And that is, if you think the healthcare is going to be good when the government takes all the healthcare and automatically deducts from your bank account, I'm sure you're going to get plenty of choices. And we may, by the way, because we're financially distressed this week, we may have to limit your benefits. Yeah, we just don't have the money for your surgery. We don't have the money for what you need. And by the way, you may be too old. Why should we invest in a 55-year-old man? He's not as productive as a 25-year-old man we can give a gun to and send him over to shoot people that didn't attack us, like the Iraqis, okay? Yeah, maybe if we put them in poverty by taking all their electricity, all their running water and stuff, and then put Paul Bremer and all these other banker buddies, over there, maybe we'll get the result that globalist bankers want. That's reduction of population, control of area, and lots of death. For some reason, they like death. I don't know why. By the way, they want to reduce the Earth's population. Are you part of that program? Now, which part are you on? Are you on the part that oversees the death of the others, or are you on the part to kill the others? Are you the killed part? That's the whole thing when you look at different stuff. So anyway, think of the great benefits that the veterans get. That's right. Yeah, when you heard, gee, the war's going on, and after the war's been going on, you start finding out the VA hospitals aren't up to snuff, the treatment's not up to snuff, the benefits. They don't want to do the surgeries. They'd rather give them pills and drugs. Pills and drugs. Pills and drugs. Have you got your pills and drugs, by the way? Maybe you need to go down to CVS and all those places and get your Ritalin and your Prozac, and your Paxil and your Zoloft. Yeah, there's only been 100 million prescriptions a year for antidepressants. Are you getting depressed? Who funds? Oh, wait a minute. They went to work for Merck where they gave people heart attacks with Vioxx, and then they went to work for the FDA. My God, how does that happen? It happens because you let it. Your rights and your freedoms and your grandchildren's lives are determined by what you do. And if you don't exercise your free speech, if you don't exercise your right to keep and bear arms, if you don't exercise your 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment, 6th Amendment, they mean nothing. They only mean something when you care enough about your descendants, okay, that you'll do something. That's what I'm looking for. Remember, if you're a doer out there, contact me. My name's Daniel Hapney. This is The Real Story. But some other thoughts, some of other news. The Bureau of Indian Affairs. Don't they provide free medicine for the Indians? Wait a minute. Resettlement and internment. Isn't that what they did to the Indians? And wasn't it the British that taught us how to do that? And I guess Hitler picked up on it. He did pretty good at resettlement and internment. Yeah. Where have I heard this before? Gee, and you passed the Patriot Act without reading it. You passed that climate bill, which allows, Al Gore and Bernie Madoff, what an interesting name, who set up the carbon exchange in Chicago. That's because you think Goldman Sachs wasn't involved? They're involved. Don't worry about it. And you're going to pay tax on every... Wait a minute. Have some CO2. I got to pay tax again. Every part of the life cycle. And you're allowing this. Can't you... what does it take? Wake up, folks. Whoa. When people like John Holdren, the new science czar for Obama, who, by the way, wrote a book in the 70s. Why don't you take a look at his eco-science book? Showed him. Some other authors there, the Ehrlichs. You should find out about the Ehrlichs. They were the science czar people for the Papa Bush. Papa Bush. Do you remember Papa Bush? Yeah, CIA director. That's right, Papa Bush. Ambassador to China, Papa Bush. What do they have, the one-child policy? What does it say in that book that he wrote? He's your new science czar. And he's into what? He's into sterilizing people. He's into determining whether or not your daughter can reproduce or your son can reproduce. Matter of fact, he doesn't think parents are too good. That's a whole nother story. So anyway, let's see. We got a little bit of Zen. I got something for you. Here's a little news you didn't get, okay? I didn't see it on U.S. news. And, I watch world news outside of the U.S. for things. And I thought it was interesting. Remember Bandar Bush? He was one of the princes of the House of Saud. He was so cool. He was when I say cool, they called him Bush because he hung out with the Bushes so much. That's right, Saudi Arabia and the Bushes. The Bin Ladens built all the facilities for the Bushes. The Bushes vacation with the Bin Ladens. And they tell you, who did 9/11? A caveman. This is beautiful. Where's the Geico guys? I need the stupid little. They went to a gecko. Why? Because the caveman thing. Geez, that's right. 9/11. It was a caveman. It's so easy a caveman could attack you. How about this? It's so easy a caveman could figure out that lie.